Guys, I literally have no idea what the fuck to do. I haven't done this in so long. I'm so embarrassed. Hey guys, it's Nim. What's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Or honestly, you should be saying that to me. So, as we can tell, I have been gone for a while, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. Maybe I'll make a "where the hell have you been, bestie" video, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. And so, instead of that, I'm just going to come back doing my favorite form of content, and that is talking about my opinions and forcing you to listen. Okay, so if you use any form of social media, literally at all, you will see that there's a very particular aesthetic that is all over social media. It's recognizable through the soft pink bows, the Mary Jane shoes, the ribbons, the pink pastel, and it goes by many names: dollcore, coquette girly, nymphette even. On the surface, it can look very harmless. Quite frankly, it does look very harmless. It's pretty, it's nostalgic, it's intentionally delicate. But if you look more closely at what's being romanticized and even incentivized, you will begin to see something much darker beneath all those ribbons and cute pink pastels. Obviously, this is not about policing how women dress. It's about examining the cultural meaning we hold under the word girlhood, and how certain aesthetics subtly encourage women to shrink down into something much smaller, something much quieter, and something easier to control. It's obvious that dollcore and the coquette style rely very heavily on youth and being young. The baby pink pastels, the bows, the knee-length skirts, the white lace socks, and the sort of softness that mimics childhood. This is not accidental. These aesthetics intentionally tie desirability to childlike innocence. They train women, especially very young women, to tie their attractiveness to their purity. And when femininity is framed this way, girlhood becomes a commodity. Suddenly, girlhood is no longer a stage of life. It becomes a performance that adult women are forced to put on indefinitely. I think we really need to talk about one of the most subtle but most damaging aspects of this aesthetic, and it's the way that they transform infantilization into romance. Within these certain online spaces, these traits are not just normalized, they're aestheticized. Like the cute nervousness and the cute soft girl behavior and the emotional fragility and the clumsiness and also the eager willingness to defer to a male partner. These aren't just personality traits anymore. They become stylized signals, right? Visual and behavioral cues meant to evoke a child. The aesthetic encourages women to adapt the emotional posture of a child, someone who needs guidance, constant validation, and protection. And because this thing is packaged as romantic, the dynamic becomes harder and harder to critique. And the biggest thing is that it reframes a power imbalance as some sort of love language. Suddenly, jealousy isn't toxic, it's cute. Ignorance isn't a handicap, it's just endearing. And the lack of independence isn't a warning sign, it's just feminine softness. Qualities that weaken women are now being transformed into the only things that make them lovable. It's a very deeply gendered blueprint. Men are positioned as knowing, stable, independent, and very protective, whereas the woman in this situation is now positioned as childlike, small in their worldview, dependent in their emotional needs, and very uncomplicated in their desire. And so this dynamic then encourages women to be less experienced, to be less assertive. And the aesthetic further validates this by romanticizing behaviors that are synonymous with being a child and immaturity. Pouting, whining, performing helplessness. These gestures are now framed as flirtation rather than signs of clear emotional underdevelopment and incompetence. Ultimately, infantilization stops being something that we worry about. It becomes something that people practice and that they internalize. And it's even celebrated with men gravitating to women that behave like that. Women aren't just treated like little girls, they are encouraged to act like little girls. This is cultural conditioning at its finest. And if your worth is tied to the idea of being a girl, what happens when you stop being one? This one is very near and dear to my heart here.
Daddy issues.
The coquette dollcore aesthetic does not exist in a vacuum. It's not something new. They sit directly on top of the cultural history where girlhood has been eroticized for years for male consumption. There's a fantasy built within this aesthetic. A small, delicate, petite girl paired with a tall, stronger, muscular, older man. Someone who's docile compared with a man who's dominant and will take charge for her. This dynamic hinges on more than just an age gap. It glorifies the whole idea of power imbalance. Emotional imbalance. He's calm and composed, and she's sensitive, she's flustered, and very easily overwhelmed. Physical imbalance. He's larger, stronger, looming. She's tiny, she's fragile, and she's someone who can be easily and effortlessly scooped up. Financial imbalance. He pays, he decides, he controls. She is paid for, she has no choice, and she's controlled. Experiential imbalance. He's lived a full life. He's seen it all. Whereas she's barely starting her life. He teaches her everything. None of these are inherently abusive, of course. Like, age gaps exist. We all know this. Aesthetic romanticizes this because of all of those imbalances, not just because he's older, she's younger. This is where the fetishization really comes into play here. Dollcore and coquette imagery often echo this classic patriarchy. The older man who finds the perfect girl. And she's perfect because she's malleable. She's impressionable, and she's completely untouched. He gets to be the teacher, the protector, and all of the authority, whilst she's the student, she's the dependent. And it's really nasty when this aesthetic rewards this very visually. I'm talking about like the egregiously oversized jackets, or the knee socks compared with mature faces. These styles aren't neutral, they visually represent this inequality and this power imbalance. And what gets erased when we're talking about all these aesthetics is where consent suddenly becomes a very blurred line. Completely. When he's older and he's more experienced and he has all of this authority, now he has all this power. Girlhood is not just fetishized anymore, it is weaponized. And it's weaponized as a form of desirability. And the more this aesthetic is normalized, the more men expect women to behave like this. This is not empowerment, this is quite literally rebranding an old patriarchal fantasy. The dollcore coquette aesthetic is not inherently toxic and bad or harmful. Like, I see cute pictures, I love the makeup, I tried to do makeup inspired by it, but didn't work. However, the cultural meanings attached to it are dangerous. I feel like tying beauty to innocence and immaturity is so weird. Like, I feel like womanhood comes in so many beautiful forms that there is no reason for us to want to shove ourselves into a box where we're behaving like children. But this is a reminder to just appreciate your beauty without shrinking into any box. Don't like switch out your whole character because men don't find it desirable. Okay? Like, literally their loss. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like, subscribe down below, turn on the post notifications so that you get notified every time I post a new video. And I'll see you guys all next time. Bye, besties.